The year was 1922. Deep in the Bavarian countryside lay a small, isolated farm called Hinterkaifeck. The name itself held a certain unease. This farm stood lonely amidst fields and forests. The nearest settlement was miles away. Here the world felt hushed, secretive. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying untold tales. The farmhouse was modest, built of wood and stone. It had stood for many years, but in the spring of 1922, those walls were about to witness something unspeakable. The farm consisted of the main house, a barn, and an engine house. It was a self-contained world, increasingly cut off. The air around Hinterkaifeck grew colder, with an encroaching dread. Something was amiss. Life on the farm was hard, demanding constant toil. Yet beyond the rhythms of agricultural life, a darker rhythm began to beat. It was a rhythm of fear, of unexplained occurrences. The residents would soon find themselves at the heart of a mystery that would baffle investigators for decades. Hinterkaifeck was on the verge of becoming a legend, a dark, bloody legend. The Gruber family lived at Hinterkaifeck. Andreas Gruber was the patriarch, stern and harsh. His wife, Casilia, was older, weathered by time and labour. Their lives were bound to the soil and the seasons. Their widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, also lived on the farm with her 2 young children. 7-year-old Casilia and 2-year-old Josef, whose paternity was the subject of local gossip. Some said Josef was the son of Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a neighbour. Others whispered darker rumours about Andreas Gruber himself. In the months leading up to that fateful march, strange things began to happen. Andreas Gruber spoke of hearing footsteps in the attic. He would search, but find no one. An unfamiliar newspaper from Munich appeared on the property. Then a set of house keys vanished. Andreas found unfamiliar footprints in the fresh snow leading from the forest to the farmhouse. Crucially, there were no footprints leading away. Someone had come, but had not left. The family felt a growing anxiety, a palpable fear of the unknown. They were isolated, surrounded by the silent, watchful woods. The night of Friday, March 31st, 1922, descended upon Hinterkaifeck. It was a cold, dark night. The killer, or killers, used a pickaxe from the farm itself. The attack was brutal, methodical, and horrifyingly personal. The adult members of the family were lured one by one into the barn. Andreas Gruber was likely the first, then his wife, Casilia, then their daughter, Victoria, and finally, young Casilia. Each was struck down with savage force. The scene in the barn was one of unimaginable horror. The bodies were found partially covered with hay. The violence was extreme, suggesting a deep rage or chilling determination. Inside the main farmhouse, the horror continued. The family's new maid, Maria Baumgartner, had only arrived hours before. She was killed in her bedchamber, and in his cot in his mother's bedroom lay little Joseph, just 2 years old. He too was murdered. The entire household, 6 people, wiped out. For 4 long days no one knew. The farm lay silent. Neighbours eventually grew concerned. On Tuesday, April 4th, a search party, led by Lorenz Schlittenbauer, entered the property and made the gruesome discovery. The investigation revealed a chilling detail. The killer had not fled immediately. Evidence suggested they remained at the farm for several days. The cattle had been fed and the family dog given food and water. Someone had tended to the animals. Food had been eaten from the kitchen. Neighbours reported seeing smoke rising from the chimney. The killer lived there for a short time with their victims nearby. The investigation into the Hinterkaifeck massacre was extensive. Over 100 suspects were questioned over the years. No one was ever convicted. The local community buzzed with speculation. One prominent suspect was Lorenz Schlittenbauer. He had a known affair with Victoria Gabriel and was believed by some to be the father of young Joseph. His behaviour at the crime scene was considered peculiar. However, concrete evidence against him was lacking. Another theory involved Carl Gabriel, Victoria's husband, officially listed as killed in action during World War I. Rumours circulated that he had survived the war and returned, but no proof ever surfaced. Other theories pointed towards vagrants or travelling thieves. Yet, very little of value was taken from the farm. The police explored many avenues, but each one led to another frustrating dead end. The mystery deepened with time. More than a century has now passed since that terrible spring of 1922. The fields around where Hinterkaifeck once stood are quiet again. Yet the silence is not one of peace. The murders remain one of Germany's most infamous unsolved crimes. The passage of time has not diminished the horror, nor has it brought clarity. The story of Hinterkaifeck continues to fascinate and disturb. The farm itself is gone, but its ghost lingers. The farmhouse and outbuildings were demolished in 1923, an effort to allow the land to heal. But some horrors cannot be so easily raised. The memory of Hinterkaifeck endured, becoming a staple of true crime lore. The site is now just an empty field, marked only by a small memorial. The police files are thick with reports, testimonies and theories. Modern investigators have re-examined the case using contemporary forensic techniques, but to no avail. The killer took their secrets to the grave. The faces of the victims stare out from faded photographs, their eyes holding the unexplainable terror of their final moments. They are frozen in time, victims of an unknown assailant for an unknown reason. Who was the phantom that walked the snowy grounds of Hinterkaifeck? The truth remains buried, perhaps forever, beneath the Bavarian soil. The mystery endures. As we conclude our journey through the haunting tale of Hinterkaifeck, we are left with more questions than answers. The eerie silence of the farmhouse continues to whisper secrets of the past, leaving us to ponder the true nature of the events that transpired. In our quest to understand the Hinterkaifeck murders, we have traversed a labyrinth of speculation, theories, and chilling details. The shadow of the unknown looms large, a reminder of how some mysteries refuse to be unravelled. The tragedy of the Gruber family stands as a sombre testament to the darkness that can lurk in even the most serene of settings. It serves as a stark reminder that the past can hold secrets so deep they may never be fully uncovered. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe for more chilling stories. Stay curious, stay safe, and always keep an eye on the shadows.